Let me ask you a question. What if your prayer was not just a whispered hope, but a command issued from the deepest intelligence within you? What if it was an instruction to the universe? You see, for far too long, we've been conditioned to believe that prayer is a plea, a quiet voice hoping that some power out there will maybe, possibly, hear us. But what if prayer is not about asking? What if it's about aligning? What if it's about becoming? Understand this. You are not separate from the divine. You are not waiting on heaven. You are the bridge between heaven and earth. And when your heart, your brain, your energy, and your intention are in coherence, when you are fully present, fully alive, fully surrendered, you don't just pray. You become the prayer, and that is when everything changes. Science now tells us what ancient mystics knew. Your thoughts are electrical, your emotions are magnetic. Together, they form a field, a signal. That signal is your broadcast to the quantum universe. It doesn't hear words. It doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to coherence. It responds to alignment. It responds to you becoming the version of yourself who already has the thing you're praying for. When you sit in stillness, when you silence the noise, when your heart begins to open and tears roll down your face, not because of pain, but because of the profound knowing that something greater is moving through you, that is prayer. That is when heaven and earth begin to shift, not because you begged, but because you believed, because you became. You want healing, don't chase it. Become the person who is already healed. Feel it in every cell. Embody it, live in the energy of it, and the intelligence that made your body, the same intelligence that orchestrates galaxies, will respond. You want peace, then stop rehearsing chaos. Step into the stillness that is your true nature. Let go of the old story, the trauma, the doubt, the fear. Your future doesn't need your past, it needs your presence. You want abundance, then you must stop praying from lack. Stop asking for something while simultaneously believing it's not here. Align your energy with the frequency of already having it. Feel gratitude for what is already on its way. Feel it now, and it will show up. Why? Because when your inner world changes, your outer world must follow. It is law, it is truth. It is how you were designed, and this is when God moves. This is when creation bends. Not because you twisted the arm of heaven, but because you remembered who you are. You aligned with the field. You elevated your energy. You created coherence in your body, in your breath, in your being. God will move heaven and earth, not because you're small and asking, but because you're powerful and embodying. Because you are no longer a victim of life. You are a creator within it. So don't wait for miracles, be the miracle. Don't wait for answers, become the answer. Don't just speak the prayer, live it, and then watch how mountains move. Watch how the improbable becomes reality. Watch how time bends and people shift and doors open. Heaven will move, earth will move, because you moved first. Would you like this formatted for stage delivery or used in a video script format? Prayer is alignment, not pleading. This shifts the entire framework of how we understand our connection with the divine. Most people approach prayer from a place of separation, lack, and desperation, asking for something they believe is missing. They beg, they plead, they hope that some higher power will intervene and fix what's broken. But that perspective assumes that the power is out there, and we are down here, unworthy and disconnected. True prayer, however, is not about begging something outside of you to show up. It's about tuning into the frequency of what already exists within the unified field. It's about aligning your internal state, your thoughts, emotions, and energy, with the reality you wish to experience. When you pray from a place of coherence, when your heart and mind are synchronized, and you feel elevated emotions like gratitude, joy, and love, you are no longer asking, you are becoming. You are stepping into the vibration of the solution, not the problem. You're not praying asterisk for asterisk healing, you're praying asterisk as asterisk the healed. You're not asking asterisk for asterisk peace, you're embodying the energy of peace. In that state, your brain waves shift, your heart rhythm smooths out, and your entire electromagnetic field expands. That signal goes out into the quantum field, and the universe begins to respond in kind. This is not about pretending. It's about accessing the truth that already exists beyond your physical senses. The more you align with the outcome emotionally and energetically, the more you collapse the distance between you and it. You draw it to you not by force, but by resonance. You become a magnet for the very reality you are aligning with, because you are no longer separate from it. You are one with it. This is the essence of true prayer. You are the bridge between heaven and earth. This isn't a metaphor. It's a recognition of your true nature as both physical and spiritual, matter and energy, grounded and infinite. Your body is composed of atoms born in stars, and your consciousness is an extension of the divine intelligence that animates all of existence. You are not merely here to observe creation, you are here to participate in it. Every thought you think, every feeling you generate, every intention you hold carries weight, carries power. You are a conduit through which the unseen becomes seen, the potential becomes actual, the invisible becomes form. Heaven is not a far-off place. It is a state of higher awareness, a field of pure possibility, and earth is the realm of manifestation, the domain of form. You stand in the middle, capable of drawing down insight, inspiration, and love from that higher plane and expressing it in this physical reality. When you meditate, when you pray, when you elevate your state of being, you activate the bridge within you. You connect to the field of infinite intelligence and bring it into the tangible world through your choices, your words, and your actions. You are not waiting for heaven to act, you are the mechanism through which heaven acts. When you choose love over fear, when you hold vision instead of doubt, when you live as if your prayer is already answered, you are fulfilling your role as that bridge. Your nervous system, your energy centers, your heart, they are all designed to translate divine frequency into human experience. Every time you step into alignment with your higher self, you build that bridge stronger. You are not a spectator in this life. You are a channel, a portal through which the sacred enters the world of form. Thoughts are electrical, emotions are magnetic. This is not just poetic language. It's a description of how human consciousness interacts with the quantum field. Every thought you think creates a measurable electrical signal in the brain. These thoughts form patterns, circuits, and networks, each carrying a frequency. But a thought alone is not enough to generate change. It is when that thought is fused with an emotion that it gains power. Emotions are the magnetic aspect of your being. They are felt in the heart, in the body, and they emit a field that extends beyond you, drawing experiences back to you that match the frequency you're sending out. Think of the brain as the signal tower. It broadcasts the instruction, the vision, the blueprint. But it is the heart, the emotion, that provides the magnetic pull. The stronger the emotional charge behind a thought, the stronger the signal sent into the field. When you think about something with focused clarity and feel an elevated emotion, gratitude, love, joy, you're sending a coherent, powerful broadcast into the universe. That signal, that electromagnetic signature, is your prayer. This is how manifestation works, not by wishing, but by becoming energetically aligned with the outcome. If you think about health but feel fear, your signal is incoherent. If you think about abundance but feel lack, the field responds to the dominant frequency, your emotion. But when your thoughts and emotions match, when you think of abundance and feel grateful for it, even before it shows up, you create a field that is synchronized, focused, and powerful. That coherence is what begins to reorganize matter, shift timelines, and draw experiences toward you. Your energy becomes the attractor, and the universe responds not to what you say you want, but to the signal you emit consistently through your thoughts and emotions. The universe responds to coherence, not desperation. Coherence is the state in which your heart, mind, and body are in alignment, functioning in harmony, broadcasting a clear and unified signal into the field. It's a state of order where your thoughts, emotions, and intentions are not conflicting but synchronized. Desperation, on the other hand, is chaotic energy. It's rooted in fear, lack, and separation. When you pray or visualize from a place of desperation, you may be saying the right words, but the energy behind them is out of sync. You are trying to create change while emotionally reinforcing the problem. The field, the quantum intelligence that surrounds and permeates all things, does not respond to words or effort. It responds to vibration. And your vibration is the sum of your mental and emotional state. If you are anxious, doubtful, or stressed, your signal is fragmented. You are sending mixed messages into the field. You may be asking for healing, but your fear is stronger than your faith. You may be visualizing success, but your emotional state is still anchored in failure. In that condition, nothing moves because the universe does not respond to noise. It responds to clarity. When you are coherent, your body is in a regulated state, your brain is balanced, your heart rhythm is smooth and consistent. You are in a state of presence. You are not trying to control the outcome. You are connected to the feeling that it already exists. That feeling sends a clean signal, a signal the universe can match. In coherence, you are not forcing, you are allowing, you are not begging, you are becoming. Coherence is the language the universe understands. It is the difference between scattered intention and focused creation, between hoping something will happen and energetically becoming the space where it must. Become the version of yourself who already has it. This is the key to collapsing time between intention and manifestation. Most people live by the model of cause and effect. They believe that when something in the outside world changes, then they'll feel better. When they get the job, the healing, the relationship, then they'll feel joy, peace, or gratitude. But this approach keeps them waiting. It reinforces the separation between who they are now and who they want to become. True transformation happens when you reverse that model. You must first feel, think, and act as if the future you desire is already real. You must embody the frequency of the outcome before it arrives. The quantum field doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to who you are being. If you are constantly thinking from your old self, attached to your limitations, your past, your fears, you continue to signal the same energy into the field, and you recreate the same life. But when you shift into the identity of your future self, when you think their thoughts, feel their emotions, and make decisions from their level of consciousness, you broadcast a new electromagnetic signature. That signal starts to reorganize matter around you. This is not pretending, it's aligning. It's mentally rehearsing and emotionally experiencing a reality that hasn't physically appeared yet, but is already alive in the field of possibility. You begin to carve new neural pathways in your brain. You shift the chemistry of your body. Your heart begins to believe it. Your subconscious begins to accept it. And because you're no longer waiting for the future, you are living it emotionally now. You invite it to meet you in the present. You draw it in, not by force, but by resonance. You don't chase the outcome. You attract it by becoming it. Your future needs your presence, not your past. So many people try to create a new reality while being emotionally anchored to what has already happened. They carry the weight of old stories, past failures, regrets, and traumas into the present moment, unknowingly projecting the same energy into the future. But your future doesn't emerge from what happened before, it emerges from who you are being right now. The past may inform you, but it is not meant to define you. As long as your decisions, emotions, and thoughts are rooted in yesterday, you're unconsciously creating more of the same. Presence is power. In the present moment, you're not your history, your potential, you're not your limitations, your possibility, and yet, presence is something most people rarely access. They live in their memories or anxieties, oscillating between what was and what might go wrong. But the field of creation, the intelligence that governs all life, only responds to what you're radiating now. It doesn't act on the energy of who you were. It responds to the signal of who you are in this exact breath. When you become truly present, you reclaim energy that was trapped in the past. You bring coherence to your brain and heart. You activate a different level of awareness, a higher frequency of consciousness. In that space, you're no longer operating from reaction or habit. You're choosing intentionally. You're no longer replaying familiar emotional patterns. You're creating elevated ones. From presence, you gain access to the intelligence of your future self, and you begin to feel it, think like it, and act from it. This alignment makes you a match to your desired future because you're no longer divided between who you were and who you want to become. You're unified in the now, where all transformation begins. Gratitude is the signature of receiving. It is one of the most powerful emotional states you can generate because it carries the frequency of completion. When you feel genuinely grateful, your body believes that what you desire has already happened. You're no longer in a state of wanting. You're in a state of having, and that shift in perception changes everything. Most people wait to feel gratitude until something changes in their external world. But if you can feel gratitude before the outcome, you're signaling to the universe that it already exists, and you're ready to receive it. Gratitude sends a coherent message into the field. It aligns your mind and heart into a unified signal. In that state, your brain releases chemicals that promote healing, balance, and clarity. Your heart rhythm becomes harmonious. Your body moves into homeostasis. These physiological changes don't just affect your inner world. They broadcast a new electromagnetic field around you. That field becomes your offering, your prayer, your invitation to the quantum universe. It's not just words. It's a frequency, and the universe speaks in frequency. When you live in sustained gratitude, you train your nervous system to expect miracles. You no longer look for signs out of doubt, but out of awareness. You begin to notice synchronicities not because you're trying to make them happen, but because you're already aligned with the energy of them. Gratitude becomes the evidence of your trust, your faith, and your connection to a higher intelligence. It anchors you in the reality you're creating, even before it fully materializes. This is the energy that draws your future toward you, not through force or control, but through alignment. Gratitude opens the door to receiving by confirming to the universe that what you've asked for is already yours. Inner transformation precedes outer manifestation. Everything you experience in the external world is a reflection of your internal state. Your beliefs, your emotional patterns, your self-image, and your level of consciousness. People often try to change their circumstances without first changing themselves. They focus on fixing the outside, chasing money, relationships, success, believing that achieving these things will bring them peace or fulfillment. But lasting change doesn't work that way. The external only shifts when there is a corresponding shift within. Your reality is not created from the outside in. It is created from the inside out. If your inner world is disordered, if you are stuck in fear, doubt, resentment, or unworthiness, those vibrations become the energetic blueprint for your experiences. You might take action, set goals, or pray for change, but if your internal environment remains the same, the results will continue to mirror that internal chaos. True creation begins by doing the inner work, by healing your emotional wounds, upgrading your belief systems, and aligning your thoughts and feelings with the reality you desire. Inner transformation is not about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you are beneath the layers of programming and fear. It's about elevating your energy to match the future you want to experience. When your inner state becomes one of coherence, clarity, and elevated emotion, your external world has no choice but to reflect that order. Circumstances begin to rearrange, opportunities emerge, people show up, and the environment shifts, not because you forced it, but because you became a vibrational match for it. You are the cause, not the effect. The work is always within. By choosing to evolve internally, by elevating your consciousness and embodying the future before it arrives, you activate the process that leads to visible, measurable transformation in your reality. You are not a victim. You are a creator. The victim mindset is rooted in the belief that life happens to you, that you are at the mercy of external circumstances, that you have no control over what unfolds in your world. This mindset traps you in a cycle of blame, powerlessness, and frustration. But the truth is, you are not helpless. You are not a passive observer in your life. You are the one generating the energy, the thoughts, and the emotions that create your reality. When you see yourself as a victim, you give your power away to the external world. You allow the circumstances, the opinions of others, and even the past to dictate your present moment. But the moment you shift from victimhood to creatorship, you reclaim that power. You begin to understand that your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are the building blocks of your experience. The world outside of you is simply a mirror of what you are radiating internally. Being a creator means stepping into your responsibility, not as a burden, but as a source of empowerment. It means taking ownership of your life and understanding that you have the ability to change your story at any given moment. When you take responsibility for your energy, your emotions, and your mindset, you begin to influence your reality. You begin to make intentional choices that align with your highest vision, instead of reacting to life from a place of fear or defensiveness. You can no longer be at the mercy of circumstances. You are the one deciding how to respond to everything that happens around you. Your inner state, your level of consciousness, and your ability to align with your highest truth become the foundation upon which you build your life. You are the artist, and your life is the canvas. The brush is in your hands. Heaven and earth move when you move first. This is a profound understanding of how creation unfolds. So often, people wait for external signs or circumstances to change before they take action. They believe that the universe will somehow respond before they make a move. But the truth is, the universe doesn't start moving until you do. The moment you take inspired action, align with your vision, and move with purpose, the entire field responds. It's a law of energy. When you emit a certain frequency, that frequency reverberates through the quantum field and the universe mirrors it. This principle is rooted in the idea that you are the initiator, not the reactor. You are not sitting back, hoping for the universe to give you permission to act. Instead, you understand that you are a co-creator, actively shaping the conditions of your life. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every decision you make creates a ripple in the fabric of existence. And when you step into action, you send out a clear signal to the quantum field saying, "I am ready." That signal activates the forces around you, moving people, circumstances, and opportunities into your life in ways you could never have planned. Heaven and earth are not distant or separate. They are always in motion, constantly influencing one another. You are the point where the two meet. When you take action, when you align your thoughts, emotions, and energy with your desired outcome, you become the catalyst for change. The universe does not act on passive desires. It responds to your active engagement with it. You must meet it halfway, creating the conditions for transformation. When you move first, you initiate a chain reaction that makes the impossible seem possible, and the improbable become inevitable.